Have you ever noticed people tend to use the expression wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle in their reviews and critiques? It's a common phrase describing video games that tend to be large in scope but amount to very little when it comes to gameplay depth and overall substance. Today, I want to take a trip down sweet memory lane and talk about a video game which I believe is the antithesis of such an expression. Limbo may be wide as a puddle, but it's deeper than an ocean and probably as deep as the name implies. Limbo is a small indie title that never left my mind since I beat it in 2011, numerous times. I did not expect to feel the way I did when the journey ended. What I thought I was getting into was just a cute little 2D platformer with a unique black and white aesthetic. It was the first time I had seen a black and white 2D game in years, and it was the sole reason I wanted to experience this little indie gem. It was a time when I had a computer that could barely run a potato, and so when I finally got an upgrade, I decided to try Limbo out. What I ended up getting was something far beyond my imagination, something I had never seen a game do, or even thought a game could do, before this came along. Limbo started as a passion project by one man named Arndt Jensen, who put out a concept trailer that took the internet by surprise. It wasn't long until he found the right people to help him make his project a reality. If you look at any of the interviews for Limbo, whether it's played at studio's co-founder Dino Patti or producer Mats Verbro, you can really tell these people wholeheartedly believed in this project, and the final game reflects that. It truly shows. The premise for Limbo can be summed up in one sentence. Uncertain of his sister's fate, a boy enters Limbo. That's it. That's all you'll ever get from the developers. It's not even in the game. This goes to show just how far Playdead Studios was willing to go to make sure the game's story is at no point heavy-handed. The goal seems to have always been one and the same, to make you create your own interpretation of what it all meant. So what did it all mean? Well, let's find out. But before we start, just a reminder to give this video a like, subscribe, and if you enjoy these videos, do yourself a favor and smash that notification bell already. Do I need to spell it out for you? Oh, you hit the bell. Nice. First things first, let me just say Limbo's graphics are just mind-blowing for how simple and yet gorgeous everything looks. Everything is in black and white and minimalistic. Characters, enemies, insects, spiders, objects, puzzle pieces, platforms, boulders, elevators, bear traps, guns, ropes, neon signs, and pressure plates. Everything you interact with is in silhouette. The noir aesthetic does wonders when it comes to the mystery element surrounding Limbo's world. Coupled with the plain silhouette shapes, the curiosity enveloping this world like an ominous fog creates both a sense of danger and intrigue that makes pushing forward, by visual language alone, compelling. There is a very subtle detail to this game that is small but makes all the difference in the world. See what I did there? Okay, I'll see myself out. That little detail happens to be depth of field. There is a heap of attention to detail in regards to composition and framing in this game. The game presents its levels in 3 layers. There's the actual level, comprised mostly of black silhouettes, and then there is the foreground and the background. The foreground is cleverly used in multiple ways, often adding to the air of mystery and uneasiness. Objects like trees that move in the foreground evoke this sense that you're being watched and followed every step of the way, and at times it's even used to hide things in plain sight, like this rope, which allows you to destroy this egg, one of many, and if you get them all, you're in for a treat. Then you have the foreground, which also makes great use of the depth of field. The blur in the background creates this illusion that there's a fog in the distance, and as a result, the blurred draw distance produces an illusion of sheer magnitude to your surroundings, as if the land of Limbo stretches across distances far beyond our imagination. This is an excellent implementation through the entirety of the game. It's just crazy how the art style for Limbo is still gorgeous to this day. It's timeless. If someone were to ask me why stylistic graphics matter more than realistic graphics in the long run, besides cel-shaded games and just games with striking art style in general, I immediately think of Limbo. Now that's a mic drop from the developers right there. In fact, that's all I'll say about the game's presentation. What you see is what you get, and what you're getting is a thing of melancholic beauty. But let's switch it over to gameplay for a minute now, shall we? Starting with some basics and a little bit about the level design. In Limbo, you take control of a boy. No name, no backstory, no exposition, nothing, nada, zilch. And your goal is to simply move on a 2D plane from the left side of the screen to the right. It's that simple. Even the controls are minimalistic as fuck. I don't think I've seen less button mapping on a controller or a keyboard ever. And no, that does not count as a detractor. It's actually impressive how all you need is one button to jump and one button to grab objects. That's it. And the way the game teaches you how to grab objects feels intuitive as well. In other games, you would get a tutorial or a on-screen prompt telling you what button to press, but in Limbo, holding the grab button in proximity of an object will make the boy reach out with his arms. And that's just scratching the surface of how Limbo tells you all you need to know with little to no hand-holding, and instead, it lets the level design do all the talking. Limbo's level design is superb in its pacing. Every puzzle is different from the last. Most of the puzzles are physics-based, yes, but the way you solve them change every single time. The game will not hesitate to discard a trick you just learned out the window. Puzzles are contextual to the ever-changing scenery, switching quite drastically at around the halfway mark, swapping trepidatious forests for lethal industrial machinery as you descend further and further down the rabbit hole. And speaking of rabbit holes, Limbo reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. Anyone else get that impression? Or is it just me? It'll make sense later when I get to the ending theory. Wait, don't click off just yet. There's no spoilers in this video. I will discuss the ending in a separate video, so be sure to stick around. So where was I? Oh yeah, puzzles. Around 80% into the game, it starts to introduce mechanics revolving around gravity. Like the rest of the game, there's no new button to press or anything like that. It's simply built around the same mechanics you've used so far: run, jump, and grab item. It's really amazing how Playdead took a simple structure and exhausted the living crap out of it with different possibilities and combinations of the same three functions. There's enough puzzle variety here to allow for a smooth difficulty curve. That being said, you will die constantly in this game, right from the start. It sounds frustrating, but it's not. Death is quite frankly the best teacher when it comes to progression. Limbo is a trial and error game, and the game knows this. It goes out of its way to avoid wasting your time. It puts you right back into the groove with extremely generous checkpoints, and the loading times are almost non-existent. If you decide to skip the horrifying and very well done death animations, of course, of which there's plenty. But here's the kicker though, Limbo's most horrifying moments happen when you cannot see the death animations, and those moments are optional, locked away in a secret level you can unlock if you destroy all the hidden eggs throughout the game. And yes, even the secret level switches things up. Once again, same functions applied in a different manner. This time it's all about using sound to get out of pitch black darkness. Oh, and as if that wasn't enough, there's saw blades and machine guns down here. Okay, perfect. Just perfect. Okay, maybe if I just... Oh. You're gonna need two things if you want to get past the secret level: patience and headphones. And if you don't have headphones, get more patience. Let's talk about sound for a bit. Like most aspects of Limbo, if I could sum up the sound in one word, it would be minimalistic. I know, I sound like a broken record or a drinking game by now, but it's true. It is the driving force behind everything in this game, from the ambient noises all the way to the music. It's a laid-back and ASMR type of vibe that's going on here, 70% of the time. The other 30% are just, well, you know, deafening sound effects of things that will kill you. Sound is not just used to make your soul leave your body and your mouth wide open like a YouTube Let's Play thumbnail. It helps you to navigate around obstacles as well. As you just heard right there if you were wearing headphones, the sound effects are remarkable, pinpointing exactly where something of interest is located on the 2D plane. Whether it's a bear trap stuck on a tree branch for God knows why, or a circular saw buzzing to and fro in the dark depths of I can't see shit land, it will always guide you, if you just listen closely. Music is used sparingly, but when it does play, it feels special. The hotel music track is short, sweet, beautiful, and haunting. It's extremely ethereal and really captures that feel of being in the process of transcending death. It's as dark as it is relaxing. It's over before you know it, but it's a track that's never left me. This was the exact moment that I knew Limbo was a special game. In general, the overall tone set by the soundtrack is consistent and feels like a less pronounced version of the hotel track, just waiting to let its creative spirit out. Even with such a subdued score, there's a sense of progression that you can follow along with. When you're in the middle of the last gravity puzzle, it's almost as if you can feel like it's about to roll the credits. You're probably not expecting it to end so quickly, but there's just something about the music that really feels like it's telling you, this is the end. And you know what that means. It's time to wrap things up. In retrospect, I never thought that more than a decade would go by and I would still look at Limbo with such fondness. What I initially perceived as a merely satisfying 2D adventure grew on me as the years went by. I don't think Limbo has the greatest replay value in the world, but with all honesty, it does not need it. It's a short and sweet game. Do not confuse the short length with low quality. This is a 2 to 4 hour runtime that left a mark so great that most modern 100+ hours open world games can only dream of. The game's been out for so long that there's no excuse to play it at this point. You're doing yourself a disservice if you skip this title. Limbo is a timeless and ethereal masterpiece, a true work of abstract art, with an ending so vague and yet so powerful that people still wonder what it all meant. And if you've made it to this point in the video and would be interested to hear how I interpret the ending, that video is on its way. But until then, just know that I did promise to answer what it all meant, and for now, the short answer is, it means whatever you mean it to be. And with that, the Raven draws to a conclusion. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.